Hi everyone, I'm Morgan, Honeybee Stitcher. Thanks for coming back. I think this is FLOSSTUBE number 12. If you're returning, thank you very much for coming and hanging out with me again. I really appreciate it. If you're new, welcome. This is a channel about cross stitch and a little bit of sewing. I am a very beginner sewer. But thanks for coming and hanging out with me. I appreciate that you've picked me to spend some time with. Hopefully you've got some stitching or some coffee to settle in. I don't know if this is going to be an overly long video, but I do have a lot to show. I've got some whip progress. I do that every single video. I've got some updates on my works in progress or whips. I have a new start which I need some help on because I'm not overly thrilled. I have a poll up on my Instagram story at the moment of which fabric to use. I've gone with one of them that was the one that I brought for it originally, and I really want to push through and try and use it, but it's just not working, I don't think. So if it's still up, head on over and have a look at it. Otherwise, leave me a comment below. I have a little bit of sewing. I have a good amount of haul. I have plans for May. And because I hit 1,000 subscribers, which blows my mind, that there's over 1,000 of you that want to hang out with me every video that I post. I have a little giveaway. So I'll do that at the end if you want to stick around and check that one out. Otherwise, just skip to the end if that's all you want to participate in, but that's up to you. Okay, so I'm going to start with my works in progress. So first up, I have which is also a finish for now because this is a stitch along. This is the Dark Queen of the Sea stitch along by Autumn Lane Stitchery along with Under the Sea fabrics. So I'm stitching this on the Cold for Bewitched 32 count. I'm doing opalescent Regana. It's a pattern by Autumn Lane Stitchery, and they've done a collaboration with Leslie at Under the Sea Fabrics for the material. I believe this is one that was created specifically for this stitch along or sale. I purchased the material, the specialty threads, which are the 3 Petite Treasure Braids, and the bead pack from Leslie. And then each month on the 1st in the US, the pattern is released. So I'm up to date with the most recent part, which is part 8. I have skipped the 2 corners that go to in these 2 sections from part 7, which help frame the piece, because Aaron and Cassandra have both, I'll see if I can show this, advised that things here are all kind of being cut off, like with this coral, and then this is coming out, and this kind of helps frame it, but then there's corners and it's like an Art Nouveau. I think I will end up stitching them. I just don't know if I'm going to make any changes, so I just thought for now I would leave it off. At the time we got that part, it was the coral and the crown, which I have changed the crown. And it was gold, like the corners are gold, and at first I wasn't overly sure if I wanted to keep them gold. I'm not a gold person, and I just kind of felt like they looked very yellow compared to gold. Aaron has said, and Cassandra both said, wait until you see kind of the next parts as to how it all ties together. I think obviously the trident in the most recent part is part of that, but I'm just going to hang out and see what the rest of it looks like over the next few months as to whether or not I do end up stitching it. So just touching back on this, I made a change using a crown that was posted by Pauline in the Dark Queen of the Sea Stitch Along Facebook group. Kept it with the same sort of colours. That's the Petite Treasure Braid that I've used for it, and then colours in the bodice for the infill. But I also wanted to have the coral, so I'm so glad I kept that. I do just want to we all know, whoever's stitching this knows how much of a genius Aaron Houston is, but just with this coral, there is 4 and 5 colors. That's got 4 colors of shading, and that's got 5. And I just think that he's an absolute genius. Like, there is no other word to describe him other than pure genius in how he gets his shading right. It still blows my mind, even with her dress, that he's got when I was stitching it at the time, I didn't even think of it, but in the purples, it's got the shadows from the fish. And it's just those subtle little additions that are just so magic. He is a pure genius. So here she is. This is a 12-month long stitch along. It comes to an end in August. Apparently they've been saying pretty much from the start that August, or the final month, I don't know what I'm doing, is beading and back stitching. So it'll be the next 3 months are pretty bottom heavy. She's finished from the top up, or the whole top section, sorry, is all finished. So it'll just be her bottom section that is going to be stitched over the next 3 months, and it's going to be quite heavy in the stitching department. So we're getting to the end of it. I'm excited to see. I, like most people, I think, have the theory that she's going to be a little bit Ursula-like with the tentacle kind of element of the bottom half, which I am so excited. But either way, I trust Aaron and the process. I cannot fault anything that he does in any of his pieces. I am obsessed with Autumn Lane stitchery, so yeah, I'm really excited to stitch that one. Side note, I think 2 weeks ago I had the fan on. It was boiling hot here, and today we are rugged up. Heater has not stopped running. We are getting into winter, unlike the rest of the world, and it's been some of the coldest days of the year so far. I think some of them have been the coldest days for that day in like 20-30 years. This beanie is a charity beanie, which is the carries beanies for brain cancer charity. Most Aussies will know that it's Carrie Bickmore from TV and radio. She releases a range of charity beanies every year. I have participated and purchased one every year pretty much since they started. This would have to be my favourite. My uncle passed away 5 months ago from a brain tumour, so it is a charity that is very close to my heart and my family's heart. When we got married, we had some party favours. Wrong word. We had, I guess people call them bombardiere. Well, at least I'm Italian, so that's a big thing for us. I guess wedding favours, gifts that you leave on the table. And we chose to do charity donation pins. And so this was, or brain cancer charity was one of those charities. But it is such a beautiful knit, and I feel like I don't always wear beanies. I kind of always just wear this one, but this might be one that I need to find a pattern for and knit, maybe. Kind of reminds me of, I think Shiloh did one with the pom-pom like this. Anyway, I can feel it moving on my head. Okay, moving along. Next up, I am stitching the Caterpillar Cross Stitch most recent seasonal treat, which is Hello Petal. I have stitched Hello Pumpkin, as well as I did the Hello Dear stitch along. That was last year. This is the spring related tree, so Hello Petal. This is my progress so far. Trying to fill in, so this is as far over as the tree goes on this side, and that's the start of the tree trunk. There's a couple of eggs in here, as it is a spring tree. There have always been a few festive kind of seasonal elements to these trees. That's when Sally's released them. So Hello Dear had some Christmas elements to it. Hello Pumpkin's all about fall, and then this is kind of a bit Easter based. In Australia, obviously our seasons are different. Our Easter is in autumn, Christmas is in summer, so the trees in that element and in those kind of motifs don't really correlate. So I have made a few changes in the past, calling on other patterns of Sally's other trees and motifs in those trees to make some substitutions. So I think that I just haven't done 2 colors in this section, but I think there's an Easter egg here. So I will be leaving that one out. Not sure if I'll substitute it for something else that's already in this chart, or if I will use one of the other trees and the motifs from the other trees to stitch something in like these colors. This is an ink mark that I can't get out. I'm just gonna hope that I can stitch over it and something covers it. I don't have it with me. I often, if I can, I print out the code, the key color chart and the symbols, and I will stick it between my needle minder and my fabric. And I didn't realize that I had a bit of the ink on the other side as well, and that's done that. So I'm stitching this one as a bit of a stitch along. The whole pattern is released, but I'm doing it as a bit of a stitch along with Sian at Craft of Aiden Creations, Mary Ashcraft, and Evelyn across the pond. So I believe the hashtag that we're using is just something as simple as Hello Petal SAL, Hello Petal Stitch Along. So if you're stitching this and you want to jump on that, see everyone else's progress so we can see yours, use that hashtag. Sally has announced that pre-orders for the last of the 4 trees, being Hello Sunshine, the summer tree, is at the end of the month, so April 30th. Believe the color palette and the DMC numbers have been released, so I've pulled a couple of those out already, and I'll pick up the rest as I need. So I'm not sure if I'll fill in the Easter eggs on this tree, or if I'll wait until the summer tree is released and maybe see if there's any new motifs on that one that I can use. I know that some of them, like this sort of design, isn't new in Sally's patterns, like these kind of long running ones, as well as this sort of leaf. And these, they're very similar to the other charts, just, you know, I think in the other ones, these have only ever been 2 colors, and that's 3 for this tree. So I think I'll just wait and see. There's a lot of green in this one, which I do love. Obviously spring is that time of year where everything starts to rebloom. But whether or not I throw in a couple of, a bit more of the purples and the pinks to it to show some flowers, that's kind of where my mind's going. Another change I'm making is that with the tree, there's motifs on either side. On one of them is a bird with a nest, and the eggs are kind of Easter egg looking eggs. So I'm going to stitch those in a couple more muted natural colors. So I'll do a yellow, I'll do maybe a pink and maybe a brown, or I think there's one color in here that I've got that I haven't used that's, oh yeah, there's a bit more of a skin color in the bunny's face next to the whiskers. So yeah, I think I'll make those kind of changes, and that's pretty much it. I'm stitching this one on 18 count white Aida with all the called for DMC. I have done the other 2 on 18 count, and I purchased enough for all 4 trees. I was already aware that Sally was going to be releasing all 4, so I went and prepared just to make sure I had enough to do all of them on the same material. I am waiting to completely FFO the other 2, which is fully finished object. The other 2 I have put them on mount board, and I've put some batting in them and pinned them and sealed the back. I just need to get some trim for the edges, but I just want to wait. I wanted to wait and see the colors that are used in the other trees, so because I want them all to match. So obviously for Hello Petal, I will use a green trim. For Hello Dear, it's like a blue, I think it's a navy blue trim. Hello Pumpkin was, I think, orange, and then Hello Sunshine, I think, will be either a pink, because there seems to be a couple of pinks in it, or maybe I think I'm leaning more towards the yellow, but it just depends if I can find the right one, but we'll see. Okay, coffee break, 1 second. All right, next up, my last work in progress. I've got 5 on the go at the moment. I've only touched 3 in the last fortnight. My hair's looking like a bird's nest. There we go. So this is the, sorry, I was working on this one earlier, so I haven't taken it off. This is a kit that I got from Forbidden Fibre Co. It was a mystery Gilmore Girls related kit. It came with a piece of material. I think this is a fat quarter. It's very bunched up back here. Came with the material, the thread, the needle minder, the pattern, and then this bag. So where you lead I will follow, and then an outline of Lorelei Rory. That's also sparkly, which I love. I'll show you. I went through this in my last video, but I'll show you again. So it came with the 4 called for flosses. This is all a chart and everything done by Leanne of Forbidden Fibre Co. So there's 4 floss. So I'm all in. Sorry. It's just this darker blue variegation that came in a 10-yard skein. Coffee, which I didn't think I would like as much as I do upon seeing it on. I think it's just this beautiful color. It is actually kind of similar to my coffee color. I think instantly when I think of coffee, I go to the coffee bean color or the ground coffee color, that really dark roasted brown. But I have a latte with my coffee, so that's actually a really perfect color. That's a 6-yard skein. This one here, what order am I in? Here is Monkey Underpants, and it's got blues. Where's my camera? There. Blue, there's brown, there's some red, there's some green, there's even purple, orange. I also didn't think that I would, I looked at this one to begin with and I went, oh, that's a bit of an odd mix. But I posted a photo of my progress of this on my Instagram feed, and whenever I go and jump on my feed and see it, this hexagon and this picture and these colors always catch my eye the most, and I find myself staring at it. So it's really grown on me and I really love it. So this is a 6-yard skein, and then the last one is in Omnia Paratus, which again is just a variegated blue. These two blues to me do look quite similar, especially where they're stitched, and I'll show you. Just with the darker shades of the blue, this one has it kind of here, and I think that they are a bit more similar, but then this one's got that lighter and that's got the deeper blue. But I love them both. Where I've got them stitched, clean as you go, otherwise I'll get lost and confused and all that stuff. Where I have them stitched is in these 2 sections. So they're the 2 different blues. That is the lighter one and that's the darker one. So I feel like you can see it here. They kind of to me look a bit similar compared to obviously having the difference there, but I love it. So this is my progress. Last time I showed you I had this and this hexagon done, and so I've done hexagon. It's not a hexagon, is it? I can't remember. I had this done and this, and so I've done the middle one. There's 2 more, one here, and then it's pretty much mirrored. So there's 2 more here, so it's 3 across, 3 down, and then these motifs all repeat. So yeah, I'm going to outline it all and then do the rest. But can I just say, I don't really care about showing my back. That is the most therapeutic back I've ever done. I almost love it just as much as I love the front. Like, that pattern is just so cool. This needle minder also is from, so it's from the kit, but it is by Twin Mummy Creations, which she's also on Instagram, I think, in Etsy as well. I'm going to finish off the outlines for these. So these 4 outer ones are all this material, this thread, which is the Monkey Underpants. And then there's infill on them. Actually, I don't know why I'm telling you and just not showing you. Pardon the glare. So it says Oi with the Poodle already, Stars Hollow, Dragonfly In, and In Omni Apparatus. Yeah. This is on 40 count Newcastle linen. First time ever stitching on 40 count. I'm doing it one strand of floss over 2 squares, and I'm in love with 40 count. And I've got a couple of projects that I want to start kitting up, and I just want 40 count. I'm loving the delicateness of it. I also have no idea how Yumia stitches 1 over 1 on 56 count, because this is hard enough. You are totally Wonder Woman, Yumia. If you haven't watched her and M&M's, I've got some haul from her as well, so yay. But I'm loving this. I am so glad that I purchased it. It arrived really quickly. There's so much extra fabric. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. I think the half is about here, so I'm going to finish well above the half. So I have a whole extra half of this fabric, which I'm really excited about. No idea what I'll use though, what I'll do with it. But yeah, that's that. Okay, my new start is a little bit, not controversial, but I need help. So I finally started my first Nora Corbett, which is Buttercup, part of the Pixie Blossoms collection, which is NC 195. I've had this one for a little while. I first saw this on, actually I was just looking it up, Cassandra Houston at Autumn Lane Stitchery was showing her previous finishes, and I saw her having stitched this one, and I just loved the colours, and I loved how she'd done it, so instantly jumped onto 123 Stitch and purchased it from there. My issue is, again, it's all yellow, and I purchased some fabric, which I guess you could also call haul, because it only did come in during the week, which is from Colour Cascade Fabrics. It is Frangipani. It's a 32 count Lugana opalescent. So this is the fabric. I can't hold it up very well. There we go. So it's got the pinks and the yellows. I did a test patch just to see if I would like it, and these colors I'm fine with. They do stick out. I purposely done the yellow section of the dress over the pink, just to see if maybe that helps it. But the color that I have on the thread at the moment, the loose strand, is the main yellow that's in her dress. It's the bulk of it, and I just think it does clash too much, which is so shattering. So shattering. I think this is so beautiful, and if I don't use it on this, I don't know what I'm going to stitch on it. My other option is the other piece of material that I got from Colour Cascade Fabrics at the time. This is called Barbie Girl. Again, it's also a 32 count Lugana. Try with this again just in case. That's not really gonna hold, please. So it's got the blues and the pinky purple color down the bottom. So I'm not sure if that will work better. I'm actually not even sure if I like that combo as much. Yes, there we go. I think it might. I put it on my Instagram story, asking people what one I should do. This is definitely currently winning. It is on 59% votes for this and 41% votes for this. Some people have messaged me saying it looks like she'll be in the clouds given that she's got the wings, which I kind of like the idea of. I'm just not sure. I tried to do a flat lay with the thread, which I have here. I have it fully kitted except for a skein of Cryonic. So these are the colors. I create floss tags, floss drops. I got a Fiskars punch from Spotlight, but you can get them on Amazon and everything. And then I got a smaller Fiskars punch to make the hole down the bottom. And then I just put them on rings. So I've either pulled from Stash or I've used these colors. So there is a fair mix of, you know, there's some greens, some reds, some pinks, some yellows, oranges, all of that. The concern I have is the orange out of everything on this fabric. Whether maybe I have to stitch it this way so that the orange, I'm sorry, I need to get a board. Whether the orange works with this, don't mind my neighbours, with the pink. Here's the yellow again. Where are we? So it goes, obviously, because half of these colours are in it. I was thinking whether I could back stitch around her, but I just don't know. Let me know your thoughts on what I should do, because I really want to be doing a Nora Corbett or a Mirabilia. She's the only one that I've got at the moment. And I've wanted to do her for so long. I've had her in my stash for a few months. So she's part of my May plans. So let me know what you reckon. Blue. I shouldn't have put it away. Or pink. Yellow, pink. Which one? Which one? Help. I just don't know. Anyway, that's a clean later on, not a clean as she goes sort of thing. So yeah, these pieces are both by Colour Cascade Fabrics. Tammy is in Perth. 32 count opalescent Luganas for both of them. And they're both 13 by 17 inches. Okay, I have a lot of haul, but I'm going to show my sewing first, and then I'm going to talk about my made plans, and then I'll get into haul. So with my sewing, I've made a couple of project bags, which are from the Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch tutorial. If you haven't already seen it, I'm sure, which I'd be surprised if you haven't, everyone is stitching or sewing these bags on Instagram from her video. So if you're looking at a place to start and you've got basic, actually not even basic beginner sewing skills, but you reckon you can figure it out, definitely give it a go. It's really fun. I've really loved making them. I think I've made 3 so far. Before this video, I have made another 5. So I made some changes in the old bags. The other bags that I made, I used a medium level interfacing in between all the panels, and it gives it that flexibility and that give, but I do think it needs a little bit more structure. So this time around I managed to find some of the same materials, and I brought some new material, and then I brought a heavy or a thicker interfacing. And for most of these bags I have done the big back panel with the heavy interfacing, and I've done the front 2 panels with the medium one, just to give it a little bit of give but a little bit of structure too. So I'll give you a little whirl. So this is the first one, and here's the back. So with Elizabeth's Liz's tutorial, she does the panel on the back is the same as this big panel, and then she's inverted and done a different panel on the top, and then once you open it, it's the opposites. I really love this material, even though I think I've said this before, I'm not a pink gal, but it's growing on me, which I'm not sure if I like. So I have instead done this panel this way because to kind of split it, and then I didn't want to hack into my new material just for one panel, so I've done the inside all the same polka dot. So that's one, and like I said, it's got, actually I think I can demonstrate it. This has a little bit more flexibility and give compared to the back being a thicker, I can't showcase it, I don't know why I'm even trying, but this has the beads for the Nora Corbett in it. Still, see how it's like still a little bit flimsy, but it's still got a bit more structure. With the other bag, it's all this front, it just all kind of collapses together. So yeah, my thing is that I need to buy a couple more Q snaps. I want to get some 8x8s, and then that way I can have some 8x11s on the go. These bags are, I think they end up being, was it 13x11? So an 11x8 Q snap will fit in here, but I can't get an 11x11 Q snap in here. Otherwise I'm going to try and make a bigger bag. So there's that one. Here's another one of the material that I've made before. This one has nothing in it, so it's this mermaid, which I made a boo-boo on. So the scales go this way, whereas on the front they go the opposite way. When I first made this bag in my first attempt at them, I didn't flip the material the right way. So this big panel on the inside has some shimmer and glitter to it. And the big panel, I'd actually done the wrong way. I'd done it inside out, so the glitter wasn't even visible. And I was so annoyed because that's the bigger panel out of it all. Like when you open the zip, that's the one you see. And I got that wrong, but that's okay. So here is this one. And then another one, I made a black one for me because black would be my favorite color. And I really liked this gold foil. They've got a couple of them like this at Spotlight. All of this material, by the way, is at Spotlight. I had to wait until some of the Easter stuff left the floor to be able to grab a couple of like this wasn't in stock at my local Spotlight, but she said it is one that they carry a fair bit of, so I just had to wait until the Easter stuff cleared out. And then this one here, because I didn't want to go wasting this on the inside, just has standard black fabric on the inside lining. I think if I made this one again, I'd probably just do all the outside as the gold and on the inside as black. Mrs. Honeybee made a honeybee bag. My sister-in-law actually does do a little bit of cross-stitching. I purchased her a Mario chart off Etsy for her birthday and kitted it up for her a few years ago. So I actually wanted, she's seen one of my old bags and said she'd like one. So I'm going to offer her this one or ask her if there's a different material maybe that she wants. I have so much more of this, so I can make myself one. There is a little bit of glitter, you can see it in the wings of the bee. And I think I did the same thing with this one. Oh no, I did invert it. So it's got the polka dots, but then the inverted panel at the top. So that's that. And then this one here is, actually this is a good example. So this has the thicker interfacing. Might hold it here. Nope. This bag that I did has a thicker material and a thinner, the medium-sized interfacing. So at first I thought this is a, what is it, a check, cotton check. It's a bit thicker, so it's a bit, they likened it to a bit more of a denim. When I purchased it, like at Spotlight, they've got some quick tips on the shelves, and it said to make sure you use more of a denim needle. I didn't use a denim needle. Rebel without a cause. I just thought because it was a thicker material, it would hold a bit better. So I thought instead I'd be better off not putting in the thicker batting, interfacing, but it doesn't hold anywhere near as well. But in saying that, like, they do hold well. Like, it's not really, you know, completely flimsy or anything. So yeah, I'll show you what I mean with how, I'm sure you all can imagine what I meant with this, but I'll show you anyway. So I can fit the Q-snap in widthways, which is an 11x11, but not lengthways. So I think if I had an 8x8, it would fit. and I can do a fair chunk of the projects that I'm working on at the moment in an 8x8. Like the Gilmore Girls one could be in that, the Nora Corbett could be in an 8x8. So yeah, so that's the 5 bags that I made. And then with I didn't have enough of this material, like I said, to make the front panel without accessing a new pack of fabric that I purchased. So I decided I had a little bit left over, so I'd make a grime guard. So this is a grime guard to fit an 11 by 11 Q-snap. There are a few things, given that this is my first time around, I haven't even cut the loose threads off. There are a few things that I would do ever so slightly differently. I found a couple of videos and I kind of made it my own. So I haven't necessarily followed a tutorial. Some of it was already knowledge that I had in sewing, and just, you know, folding over and ironing the edges to kind of then be able to sew and then make a nice side. Well, I don't even know what it's called, seam, not even a seam. And then to be able to, you know, leave a hole to fit the elastic through and all of that. It was more trying to find the measurements. So just for anyone who's interested in making a Q-snap, or a grime guard, sorry, because I want to also make one for a hoop. The measurement is basically to add together the width of your Q-snap. So this is an 11 by 11 and this fits it. So 11, 22, 33, 44. So you'd need 44 and then an extra 2 inches of material for things like your joins. I think that extra little bit of give, plus also the fact that you've got the elastic. So this is 46 inches of material. I think for an 8x8, from what I could see, it was always add together the 4 sides, the width of them, and then add 2 inches. So that's what I found. And then with the elastic, it's 2 pieces of elastic, and the measurement on that is 2 sides of the Q-snap plus 2 inches. So again, 11 by 11, it was 11, 22 plus 2 inches, so 24. So this piece here is 6 inches wide with 2 pieces of 24-inch elastic, and the material stretched a length of 46 inches. If you are wanting to make one, let me know. I can kind of point you in the articles. I'll try and maybe link them below, some articles or videos that I found. But that's the best way I could really figure it out, is just to add the size of your Q-snap together and add 2. But yeah, if I get confident enough in doing this and I can kind of get a setup, I'm thinking about maybe making a tutorial on how to make these, because I struggled to find one that I really liked, and that was just pretty much clear and straight to the point, and none of them really explained the calculation as to why they got to the piece of material that they did, which is something that I think I would really, really like. So yeah, if I can get my skills kind of refined a bit better and enough to be able to make a video, I think I will. That if you want to make one and you want some tips, hit me up, DM, comment below, whatever. Coffee break. Okay, so next up is haul, and I have a fair little bit. Kind of haul and then maybe into plans, because some of it might kind of correlate to both. But just a couple of sewing things. I purchased a cutter, which is just a Fiskars cutter. I got this off Amazon. I'm still yet to get a board or a cutting like ruler thingy. Safe to say I'm not a straight cutter, or like even with a ruler I can't even draw in a straight line. So let's hope that this and then everything else together all helps me. But it's so fun. And then I got some sewing or like quilting binding clips. This is a pack of 100. I got it again off Amazon, and I will link it below. I think from memory this cost me about 20. Actually, I think both of them together They're from 2 separate orders, but I think altogether I spent about $40 on them on Amazon Prime. And I haven't been able to find those quilting clips anywhere. Like Spotlight sell them, and I think it's like a pack of 30 for $30 or $20 or something. So I was really happy to find that. They're really, really sturdy and durable. I beforehand was using clothesline pegs, so that's a good find. Then I got a whole bunch of thread. I have some plans with that thread, and some of it I don't. I just really wanted. And some I, again, need some help with. So first things first, I touched on this last video. I was very, very fortunate to be gifted Hello Quaker pumpkins by Hello from Liz Matthews. And I am going to stitch that one. Evelyn from Evelyn Across the Pond also got Quaker snowflakes. So we're thinking of doing a little stitch along together with that, something like Hello Quaker Sal, I don't know. We haven't really talked that much into it. We've both just been kind of kitting them up, and then we'll wait until it's the right time to start, but it's probably not going to be till at least end of next month or something like that. So I purchased all of the specialty Weeks Dyeworks threads for it. So I got all of these, which are all, there's 7 of them. They're all Weeks Dyeworks. I purchased these from JK's Cross Stitching Supplies, which most Aussies will know. Janet was only on Facebook, and has recently migrated from Facebook to a website. I'm not sure if it's fully live, but I've got access to it. I don't think you can Google search it. She's in Sydney. Her thing is that she sells everything for almost basically cost price, so that keeps us spending less to keep us in the hobby. She's just an amazing, like, her service is just incredible. Every time I purchased with Janet, you get a little kind of, like, that's a little needle minder. There's always that, and then a freebie. I got a fabric comb this time around. Can't say I've ever used one. I'm not exactly sure. Like, I'm guessing that this is only for clothing and not for actual like fabric, like cross-stitching fabric, linen and stuff. It does say on the back to remove pilling balls, which I'm pretty sure I get on like my leggings and stuff. But yeah, always throws in a little freebie. Last time I got it's in another bag. I got I think it was a needle threader and cutter, little dooba-wacky thingy. So there's the 7 threads for Quaker pumpkins. I am going to stitch it. This isn't the right piece of material, but I'm going to stitch it on Toasted Mallow, which is from Number 12 Stitch Co. On Etsy, Nicola. This is a 36 count, but it's not the right size piece of material that I need. But that just gives you an idea of the colors. So this Toasted Mallow has like a peachy, pinky, orange color to it. And then I thought that, yeah, I wanted to see first if these colors would actually work on that before purchasing a bigger piece. There is one that I'm eyeing off that she's popped online that's a 40 count in a big enough fabric, but I've got to wait till I get paid at the end of this week. So I'm praying that no one buys it before I can get around to grabbing it. I just can't bring myself to buy it any sooner. I've had a couple of medical bills come up that have taken that, so I can't. And please don't buy it. Please, I beg you, please leave it for me. But Nicola's fabric, I've got a number of them actually spread out in front of me right now, and I love them. I think she's in Brisbane. Her service is awesome. I put a question to her, which is my next piece of haul. I put a question to her about helping me with a piece of material, and she came back to me. She was responding to me, and then she came back to me the next day. It was like, I couldn't stop thinking about your question. What about this, this, and this? So I've always just really appreciated her service. From the market, the online market that happened in replacement of Needlework Expo, that's what I'm looking for. In replacement of Nashville, Needlework Expo went digital. And in that, I saw a chart that I liked, which is Quaker turtles. I think I've spoken about it in the past. Turtles are my favorite animal, second to Nala, my dog. So I saw this one. I've never stitched a Quaker before. Now all of a sudden I've got two kind of on the plans. So I purchased that one. I've purchased it from Linen and Threads in Sydney. I was going to get it from Top Knot Stitcher, but once postage and conversion, I think the chart would cost me $60 Australian. So I managed to find an Australian supplier in Linen and Threads, and I think it's costing me $30. I don't have it yet. She messaged me to say that a parcel from, I think it's OTM is the company that have released Quaker Turtle, has arrived. It's just not got that pattern in it. I think some wrong stuff has been sent, so it's going to take a little while longer, which is fine. I did want to start it in May, but I don't have anything to be finishing it for, so I don't have a deadline, so totally fine, because now I can't think of the fabric that I want to stitch with it. So I saw this floss on a post on Instagram. I think I was stalking the Hands On Design post off Instagram page, and someone had done a finish and had used this thread. So this is Snips and Snails from Classic Colorworks, and I just think it's beautiful. But the problem I'm having is I feel like the turtle, like I think I really want to stitch the turtle in this thread, but I feel like it also should be stitched on a blue, but I don't want to stitch on a dark fabric. But then the blues I feel like might clash with this, or might clash with this kind of tealy aquary. I'm being really fussy and really picky. And I'm like, I feel like all my problems would be solved if I just picked a different floss. But I'm stubborn and I don't want to. So I'm tossing up. There is one on Nicola's website, on her Etsy page. Don't mind me, I'm not being rude, I'll look it up. There is one on here that's Frost. The color Frost, which is kind of a darker grey, but then in one of the photos, so that's, oh no, that looks purple. No, it's not going to show up. It's in this folded photo, it kind of looks a little bit blue, but also a little bit grey. But in a bigger piece like that, it actually just all looks like a moody grey. So I pulled out, I have another one of Nicola's, which is Silvery Moon. I pulled this out to see what this thread would look like on a grey. And it's too similar again in these lighter colours, but maybe it would work on a like that kind of moody grey. So I think when I go to put through the order of Toasted Mallow, I think I might grab it. I think it's a nice material anyway. I'll find something to use it for. But hopefully I can use this. I went and looked back into where I saw this thread from, and the person had stitched a free Hands On Design. I think it's the one that says Love You More. Stitched it with this, but had stitched it on a kind of like a natural kind of, a thread, a material. And I'm not a huge fan of those colors, and I don't really see me hanging something like that up on my wall. So that's where I'm just a bit torn. If you have any suggestions for this with the variation, please let me know. And then I think probably one of the most exciting things that I did receive was the lovely Yamia Almond M&Ms. I purchased a whole bunch of her threads when she figured out how to get them to ship to Australia or international. When she first opened up her shop, I was so keen. I think it was like around my birthday, and I was like, that's it, that's my birthday present to myself. But international shipping wasn't an option. So I was talking to her on Instagram, and she said she was working on it, but it wasn't something at the time. Not sure if it is still international or if it was just that she was able to work out how to send it to Australia. But I did manage to purchase it. So it was just after, it was, I just dropped one. It was end of Feb, and I got it the first week of April. So it did take, if I look into the tracking properly, it took 3 weeks of shipping, of postage into out of New York into Brisbane to Melbourne, and it got to Brisbane during their lockdown. They went into a crash 3-day lockdown from coronavirus, and it got to them then, so that's also then caused a delay. But 4 weeks in shipping from America to here, especially in current times, is totally fine with me. And Yumi pretty much posted it straight away, like almost, you know, I think she makes them to order, and I think within a week she'd released shipping information to me. So yeah, I'm waiting to see if anything more comes out. I haven't stitched with any of them yet. I have a pattern for one of them that I'm going to do, but I want hanks of all of these. So I've purchased 7 skeins, which are 6 yard or 8 meter material, and in true Yumi style, they are tiny. They are so beautiful, so beautiful. So these are all silks, hand-dyed silks. So I have purchased, and I'll go through them all. This is wine. So this is, I'm going to stitch the Always Hello from Liz Matthews small. I'm going to stitch it on Silvery Moon, this kind of greyish linen. And this is one colour option that I'm going to do. So purchased wine. Rosé is the next one that I've purchased. That's kind of blowing it out a little bit into a bit more of a, there we go. It's a bit more of a muted hot pink. This one is Tantalizing Teal. These 3 here are a bit more of a solid colour. Frosty Slate. Again, kind of a solid colour, but there is a little bit of lightness in it. This one is such a beautiful colour. This is Powder Blue. So it is a bit more of a purpley kind of blue. That's another option for my Hello from Liz and Matthew small. Clouds. This one is variegated. Let's see if I can show enough of it. So it's got some darker blue, a little bit of a lighter color. Is that focusing? Bit of like a sky blue. Yeah, it's got a couple of different colors plus a little bit of, I think, like lighter whites and stuff in it. So that one is also beautiful. And then the reason this, and I'm pretty sure everyone might be, oh no, it's unraveling, might agree with me. This is Sangria, and this is the whole reason why I wanted to purchase, not only just to support Yumi, but I really wanted this one, and I want to bathe in this. I want to get a hank. So it's got some darker black kind of colors, grays, light grays, dark grays, and then it's got pinks of all different colors. And part of the reason that I brought the colors that I did, and again, I don't think I'm going to be able to show this. Yumi did this so elegantly and I can't. No. Okay, we'll see how I go. Part of the reason I brought these 4 colors is because I thought that they kind of all worked together. So if I was to ever do a big enough pattern, which I don't have any plans on it, I could kind of toss these 4 colors in together. I think rosé is probably the one that doesn't stick, like it sticks out a bit too much compared to the sangria, but then these 3 colors, if I can, no. Nothing's liking me today. We'll try that way. They all kind of really work together and tie each other in, so I'm in love. I'm so sad that's unraveling. My other option with this always small, which I'll pop a photo of here just in case you haven't seen everyone stitching it already, is the Sangria. But I worry that those greys are too clashy. So that's why I was thinking maybe I'll go with, wine. I will be stitching this. So I did the Loved by You, How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You chart, which I stitched for my wedding. Again, when I get the professional photos, I will show you what I mean with that in case you're not sure. I stitched it for my wedding, but with the plans of it going on a photo wall that I have in the process. I want to pop a couple of stitch pieces on it. There's photos of Tim and I throughout the years, photos from our engagement party and our engagement shoot with our families. I've got a couple of portraits of Nala. And then I want to pop that Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You chart, and then a couple of other little smalls. So the Always chart is another perfect one that I want to pop up. But the frames are all black. They're quite muted. They're not all bright in your face. I've gone with more of the black and white photos if we've gotten them. So I just kind of felt like maybe the grey, light and black, almost white material, but then the pop of colour with the thread would be a good mix for that wall. So yeah. Just onto my May plans. I've decided that I'm going to do Whip Mania, which is kind of why I wanted to start the Nora Corbett. I have 5 active whips at the moment, 6 now including the Nora Corbett, and I am going to start one more before then. I believe the Always small won't last that long, so that won't be it. I finalized my 7. Unless I get this Quaker turtle and I get the material in and everything in time, it's going to be the Santa ornament small from Autumn Lane Stitchery. So I did the Mrs. Claus small. This is on another Nicola number 12 Stitch Co fabric. I believe that this is Mulberries and Cream. They stitched, Autumn Lane Stitchery did this as a bit of a stitch along. They released the pattern and just said, everyone, if you want to start stitching it, we're kind of doing this whole stitch along thing with Cassandra. They had stitched it on a pinky rosy kind of colour, so I went with the same thing. I brought a big enough piece of material that I could stitch 4 on. So my plan is to stitch Santa on this side. My Christmas tree is black, white, grey, gold, silver, and rose gold. I just do it all quite neutral and monotone. So the rose in this ties into it. I purchased the Just Cross Stitch magazine because Santa and Frosty were released as exclusives into those. They've only just recently released Santa as a pattern themselves, but I have it from the magazine. So I'm going to stitch Santa and Mrs. Claus on this, and then Frosty I was going to stitch on a grey. Actually, I think I purchased this Silver and Moon. It's not really going to show up. Maybe that'll help. I think I was going to stitch Frosty. No, Frosty was going to go on a black, or like a dark grey. I've got black, silver, and like a charcoaly kind of grey metal looking ornaments on my tree. So to make the white on Frosty stand out, I was going to stitch him on that. Just so I can get a few different ornaments going in my Christmas tree colours. They're the 3 Christmassy related ones that Aaron has released. I don't put anything up for Valentine's Day. I think they've done Valentine's Day, Easter, and St. Patrick's Day. They've done an ornament for each of those, as well as I think the gnome one is Valentine's Day. I don't stitch anything for those, so I'm not going to stitch them. But when they released Mrs. Claus and we're talking about the other 2 ornaments, it was kind of like a Santa and Friends series. So I hope there is more, but I thought to get a head start, at least I can stitch Mr. Claus or Santa. So the 7 pieces, the 7 whips that I've got is Mr. Claus or Santa, Hello Petal, Gilmore Girls, the Autumn Lane Stitchery Dark Queen of the Sea stitch along, except that I can't start that one on the 1st if that gets pulled, because I don't get it straight away with the time difference. I get it on the 2nd or 3rd. Eye Candy, which is my full coverage kit, which is a piece by Gecko Rouge, pop a photo in, and Smooth Sea, which is a Stitch Ravia piece. I have put them all into the Tiny Decisions app, which looks like this. So each day I will spin, and whatever it calls, I will stitch, and I'll do, there's 7 whips, so I'll do 1 a day for a week, reset the wheel and do the same thing. So I should be able to get a night of stitching in on each piece per week. If I manage to finish, which I doubt it, but if I manage to finish, I'm guessing the Santa ornament, I'm going to focus on the Dark Queen. I'm feeling almost like I need to actually take the Dark Queen out, and I'll base this depending on what happens when I get the part, but it's going to be really heavy stitching. They've already warned that there's a lot of stitching in the next few months, so I'm kind of contemplating whether or not I look at my week and maybe I leave that for a Saturday or a Sunday, depending on what I'm doing, on a day where I can just bum around and do nothing and sit down and just stitch and put a good, I can get 8 or 9 hours minimum stitching in on a Sunday if I'm not doing anything. So whether or not I leave her for then and I just do the 6 whips in between, we'll see. But that's pretty much my plan. I have created this little spreadsheet so I can keep track of what I stitch, and I will take a photo at the start of the month of where I'm at with everything, and then see where we're at the end. I don't have any goals. I don't have any plans or anything. I don't want to hit any milestones. That's what I'm looking for. The only thing I just don't want to fall behind on the Dark Queen. Given that there's not exactly there's 4 and a bit weeks in May, I'm unsure if I'm going to do this until and do 4 solid cycles and then focus the last few days on making sure that I am up to date with the Dark Queen, but we'll see how the month is going. So that's my plans for May. I got the idea, I think I popped out something up on my Instagram story, but I remember Callie from Animal Instinct doing the Tiny Decisions wheel for, I think it was last Mania. I believe she did a mix of new starts maybe and whips, but I'm just going to do whips. So I have to turn Santa into a whip, so I've got to get him started pretty soon. But yeah, that's everything I have. Last thing in my haul is that I purchased a chart, which I'm also going to offer as a giveaway for hitting 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So I purchased this chart, which I'm going to actually stitch. It's Coffee Drinker's Confession. I'm sorry if you don't drink coffee, but I'm sure you know someone in your life that does. So it says, I don't have a problem with coffee. I have a problem without coffee, which I drink 4 or 5 coffees a day, so this is me. This is a heartstring samplery chart. So I'm going to stitch this one myself. I don't know when. Just after I'd purchased this, I actually saw Beth, the Desert Stitcher, working on this one. She popped something up, so I thought that was quite cute. Jen from Quirks and Stitches, I think that's her Instagram. I can't exactly remember. I'll pop a thing up. Is the reason I found this chart. She's not doing this one, or she has just finished the one that she's doing, but she's doing another heartstring samplery Quaker style coffee sampler. And it's all Quaker motifs, but then it's got a coffee saying, I think it says, first I drink the coffee, then I do the things. I did think about getting that one, but I can get really grumpy and really narky without a coffee. So this one screams me a lot more. So I'm going to stitch this one, but also am going to purchase one of these as a PDF for the giveaway winner. I should have actually printed off a bit more info on the chart so that you know. I'll pop a link in down below so that you can see it. But yeah, basically I will purchase this as a PDF. I will find a way to send the actual PDF directly to the winner's email address rather than having to forward it on. To enter this giveaway, please don't mention the word giveaway in your comment, but leave a comment down below with the word coffee in it. I want to know what your coffee order is. Mine is just a standard latte or an iced latte with vanilla syrup, and occasionally we will drink an espresso, but yeah, my main thing is latte, no sugar, no nothing. So let me know what your coffee order is down below. I will draw this in my next video, which will be in a fortnight. I usually film on Saturdays, so I will close this at midnight Friday, Melbourne Eastern Standard Time. That date will be Friday the 30th of April. I'll maybe pop it on the screen exactly kind of times of when I will close the draw, and I'll pop a countdown on my Instagram just in case that helps anyone. So I'll pick a winner using a random YouTube comment generator. Like I said, please don't use the word giveaway. This isn't in association with anyone, nothing to do with Heartstring Sampler. It's just a chart that I wanted to stitch. And I know that a lot of my followers and people that I interact with are coffee drinkers. I wouldn't be able to do this giveaway if it wasn't for you all subscribing, reaching out to me, commenting, liking, sharing my videos on whether it be showing someone else that you know that stitches or on Instagram. This community has been the best thing that I've done these last 6 months. I think it's been 6 months. Getting involved, the communication that I have with everyone through DMs and comments, and the enabling, which I'm loving. It's not a bad thing for me. It's the best. It's gotten me through COVID and the lockdowns that we've had. I've learned a lot, not just stitching related, just about everything that's going on in the world. This community is one that I'm ever learning on and from, through posts that are being shared on social media, conversations that are being had, and for that I'm eternally grateful. So keep doing what you're doing, and yeah, thank you for stopping by, for hanging out. Please give this video a thumbs up, like the video, comment, leave a comment down below whether you want to enter the giveaway or not. Head over to Instagram, give me a follow over there, chat to me, DM, whatever is easiest, and we can go from there. I really love chatting to you all. And if you ever find that there's something that I'm working on that I haven't explained enough or left a link to, send me a message, leave me a comment or DM me. Happy to chat to you about it and give you more info when I can and where I can. Otherwise, stay safe, stay healthy, keep stitching, and keep drinking coffee. I will see you all in 2 weeks. Bye.